gas pipelines to boost small-scale cogeneration for commercial use. This usually involves the installation of gas turbines in large buildings such as malls and hospitals. The equipment is safe, reliable and relatively small for the amount of energy it produces.
From an environmental point of view, it's very attractive because the generation is very efficient, and typically you can use the heat that most power stations throw away. You can use that to heat water in the building or provide cooling or heating for the building. For the user, it tends to be very attractive because the price of generation is quite low.
The Consumer Council's report also points to a lack of transparency in the electricity market's regulatory framework and suggests setting up an energy commission in order to allow the public to have a say in policy making. João da Silva, TVB News.
Well, a union group representing Cathay Pacific pilots today began a Work to Rule campaign. That's due to a pay dispute with management. This Yoon has more.
The Hong Kong Aircrew Officers Association, or HKAOA, which represents more than 2,000 Cathay Pacific pilots, has launched a campaign which instructs pilots only to perform their duties according to the conditions of their contract. They are refusing overtime work and to work on their days off.
We would expect that if they have days off, they would keep those days off, and rather than going that extra mile or additional effort for the company, that they would enjoy their day off.
The airline earlier offered to raise pay by 4% this year and 3% in each of the following 2 years. But the union is not happy with that. Still, it wants to resume talks with management for a fairer and more equitable agreement on pay.
Well, their pay increase was just for 1 year, so we are unsure of what the other 2 years will be, and in fact we'll have to negotiate over those 2 years anyway.
Cathay says it's disappointed with the pilots' decision, calling their Work to Rule campaign uncalled for and unnecessary. It's not clear yet how all this would affect travelers as the busy holiday season approaches. Meanwhile, the airline has offered an average 4.5% pay rise and a 1-month bonus for qualified cabin crew and Hong Kong staff members in the coming year. Liz Yun, TVB News.
Protests have erupted around the United States over yet another grand jury decision not to indict a white police officer over the death of an unarmed black man. The U.S. Attorney General strongly believes this case warrants a civil rights investigation.
Eric Garner died after New York Police Department officer Daniel Pantaleo restrained him in a chokehold when he refused to be handcuffed, allegedly for selling illegal cigarettes. The deadly encounter on Staten Island was captured on video and quickly spread to the internet as a case of police brutality. The footage shows Pantaleo putting Garner in a chokehold, which is banned under New York's police policy. In it, you can hear Garner pleading with the police, repeatedly saying, "I can't breathe."
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Reverend Al Sharpton joined the victim's family in saying this case and the police shooting of an unarmed black teenager in Ferguson, Missouri, prove the U.S. is dealing with a national crisis.
We have no confidence in local state prosecutions because state prosecutors work hand in hand with the local police.
The victim's family is shocked the grand jury couldn't see excessive force used by the accused policeman and refused to accept his condolences.
I don't know what video they were looking at. Evidently, it wasn't the same one that the rest of the world was looking at. No, I could care less about his condolences. He's still working, he's still getting a paycheck, he's still feeding his kids, and my husband is 6 feet under, and I'm looking for a way to feed my kids now.
Despite a grand jury's decision not to investigate, the U.S. Justice Department feels the need to probe further.
I spoke with the widow of Eric Garner to inform her and her family of our decision to investigate potential federal civil rights violations.
President Barack Obama said it's clear change is needed for U.S. police to regain the people's trust.
We are seeing too many instances where people just do not have confidence that folks are being treated fairly.
That's exactly why thousands of angry demonstrators marched through New York. Many were arrested for blocking off traffic as they chanted, "I can't breathe," and "Hands up, don't choke." Dozens also marched in the nation's capital, carrying banners that read, "Indict the system." And in California, protesters blared the words, "Black Lives Matter."
All right, Tony, I understand you have some soccer action for us tonight.
That's right. Exciting stuff from the world of Premiership football to talk about. Chelsea and Manchester City secured convincing wins in the Premier League last night to fuel expectations that it will be a two-team fight for the title this season. Alan Buckner has all the action.
Chelsea preserved its unbeaten start and six-point lead by defeating London rival Tottenham 3-0. Eden Hazard got things rolling on a nice give-and-take with Didier Drogba. Drogba got his own goal 3 minutes later after a terrible clearance pass by Spurs keeper Hugo Lloris went straight to Hazard, to Oscar, to Drogba, and net. Drogba was playing in place of suspended Diego Costa.
He's a team player. After that, he's one of these old days mentality. No selfish, no vain, humble guy, plays for the team, fights for the team. Fantastic.
Sergio Aguero is leading Man City's attempts to haul back Chelsea, with the Argentina striker taking his league-high tally to 14 goals by scoring in each half of a 4-1 win at Sunderland. With 4 straight wins in all competitions, City has clearly overcome an early wobble.
If we continue playing in this way, we will try to also, of course, we will fight for the title. Chelsea is playing very well also, but I don't think that we are just two teams fighting for the title.
Arsenal were also winners Wednesday on an Alexis Sanchez goal for a 1-0 decision over Southampton. Alan Buckner, TVB News.
On to the United States now, where Robbie Keane of the Los Angeles Galaxy was named the most valuable player in Major League Soccer. Keane became the third Galaxy player to take the honour after Carlos Ruiz in 2002 and Landon Donovan in 2009. The Ireland international scored 19 goals and added 14 assists, both career highs. The Galaxy take on the New England Revolution for the league championship on Sunday.